Welcome back to the briefing. The landscape of firearms ownership in 2026 is shifting beneath our feet. We are seeing a divide open up in the market. On one side, we have the practical modern tools, the polymer-framed workhorses designed to live on your belt and defend your life today. On the other side, we have the investment-grade legends, the steel and wood masterpieces that are vanishing from circulation and skyrocketing in value faster than gold or crypto. Tonight, I am bridging that gap. I have selected 8 specific pistols that represent the absolute best of both worlds. We are talking about modern fighting guns that earn their spot in your holster and historic icons that earn their spot in your safe as appreciating assets. Whether you are looking for a daily carry solution that disappears under a shirt or a mechanical marvel that tells the story of firearm evolution, this list covers the spectrum. We are going to break down the recoil impulse, the ergonomics, the quirks, and the cold, hard reasons why these specific models are the ones you need to secure before the market moves again. Let us get to work. We are kicking this off with a pistol that feels like a purpose-built fighting tool the second you wrap your hand around it. Number 1 is the Staccato P45. If you want a weapon that commands respect and delivers performance right out of the box, this is where you start. The Staccato P45 is a big, fast-handling 45 ACP handgun built around the legendary 2011 lineage. But do not make the mistake of thinking this is just another old-school 1911. This platform modernizes everything you actually care about in a defensive pistol. The controls are tactile and positive. The trigger is crisp, breaking with the kind of definition that makes you a better shooter instantly. One feature I appreciate is that it ships without a grip safety, meaning there is one less mechanical lever to fight with if you are fumbling with the gun in the dark or under duress. The manual safety is deliberate and easy to actuate, and the ergonomics are designed to swallow a big hand without feeling blocky for smaller shooters. A massive advantage here is logistics. The Staccato P45 accepts Glock magazines. That is huge for versatility. It means you can keep spares across multiple platforms without cluttering your gear bag with proprietary metal that costs a fortune. The slide rate is incredibly fast, something you will notice immediately when transitioning targets. For optics, Staccato's mounting system keeps the red dot back far enough that you do not obstruct ejection, keeping the action clear. It also features an included sight block that reduces recoil rise without the concussive noise penalty of a full compensator, making it a very practical choice for a house gun where auditory exclusion is a real factor. If you want a serious bedside or duty pistol, and money is not the primary constraint, this is a top-tier option. It is expensive compared to budget 9mm options, but you are paying for a durable platform that has been tuned for reliability and performance. It is a heavy hitter, meant to win fights, not just look good on a table. Number 2 is the H&K P7. This is one of the most unconventional pistols ever carried on duty, and that engineering oddball status is exactly what is turning it into a skyrocketing collectible in 2026. This design did not just borrow ideas from its contemporaries, it invented them. It utilizes a gas-delayed blowback system and a fixed barrel for match-grade accuracy. But the defining feature is the unmistakable squeeze-cocker system. This mechanism turns the front strap of the grip into both a safety and a readiness switch. You squeeze the grip to cock the striker, and you release it to make the weapon safe. Nothing else feels like it, and that uniqueness is fueling its rapid climb in value. The P7 was expensive to build from day one, requiring precision machining, tight tolerances, and a gas system that demanded real craftsmanship, which kept production numbers lower than demand. Now, the supply is locked. No factory is taking on the astronomical cost of making a pistol this overbuilt again, and collectors know it. Condition is critical here. Collectors pay serious premiums for crisp proof marks, original finish, and most importantly, clean gas cylinders. because a worn-out or carbon-fouled gas piston changes the entire personality of the gun. A mechanically healthy P7 is a different creature than one that has been overheated or abused. But the real appreciation push comes from the shooting experience. Once someone fires a P7 and feels the flat recoil impulse, the instant readiness of the squeeze cocker, and the laser beam accuracy of that fixed barrel, they stop treating it like a novelty. They start treating it like a benchmark. It is being hunted, and every year the hunt gets a little more competitive. If you see a clean M8 or M13 variant, you are looking at an asset that is accelerating in value. Moving to number 3, we have the Glock 19 Gen 5 equipped with a COA optic. The Glock 19 is the no-nonsense workhorse of the industry for a reason. It hides well, it is light, and it is stupidly reliable. The Gen 5 updates only sharpen that edge, refining the ergonomics and removing the finger grooves to fit a wider range of hands. When you toss on the COA optic, you have basically turned a familiar platform into a modern duty pistol with minimal fuss. The window on that optic is big, the sight picture is uncomplicated, and the mounting is rock solid. This setup offers unmatched versatility. You can run this as a carry gun, a range gun, or a dedicated duty piece without changing a thing. The recoil is predictable, and the follow-up shots are quick. The Gen 5 trigger is consistent, and the optic really helps with fast target acquisition at close to mid-ranges. But the true power of this platform lies in the ecosystem. The aftermarket support is massive. Holsters, magazines, sights, and replacement parts are available everywhere. That ecosystem matters in real life because being able to pick any holster or any magazine you already own saves time and costs. If you want a reliable, do-everything 9mm that will not surprise you on a bad day, this is the one to beat. It is for the shooter who wants proven reliability and maximum aftermarket options with a minimal learning curve. It might not be the rarest gun on this list, but it is undoubtedly the most practical one to have on your hip when reliability is the only metric that counts. At number 4, we turn back to the collector's market with the Sig P210. This is not just a pistol, it is a standard. It is a measuring stick used to judge every other service pistol ever made. It serves as a quiet reminder of what happens when a manufacturer builds a combat weapon to competition-grade tolerances. Every serious collector eventually bumps into a P210, fires one magazine, and walks away finally understanding why prices keep drifting upward year after year. The magic here is in the fit. We are talking about full-length slide rails that run inside the frame, a single-action trigger that feels hand-tuned straight from the factory, and internals that lock together like a Swiss watch. These were not built on an assembly line where good enough was part of the vocabulary. Each one carries the unmistakable fingerprints of precision, machining from a time when Sig was more craftsman than corporation. Value tracks closest with the early Swiss-made models. Collectors look for clean bluing, matching numbers, and that original test target. The one that proves the pistol could punch a single ragged hole before it ever left the factory. But the real reason the P210 keeps appreciating is simple. Nothing modern truly replaces it. A few guns get close, but none feel the same. Scarcity is rising, demand is rising, and shooters who buy one almost never let it go, creating a perfect storm for investment growth. Number 5 brings us back to the practical reality of daily carry. If you want something that disappears under a shirt but still shoots like a duty gun, the Springfield Hellcat Pro is the sweet spot. It is a compact, optics-ready, 9mm designed around concealment without robbing you of capacity or controllability. In the hand, it is slim enough to hide, but the longer grip and slightly extended slide give you a better sight radius and follow-up control than a single-stack micro-compact ever could. Springfield Armory nailed the balance of size and shootability here. The grip texture bites just enough to keep the gun planted during fast strings of fire, but it does not shred your support hand during long practice sessions. That extra real-world reach on the grip translates to a full-sized feel with compact dimensions, making hits easier when the adrenaline kicks in. The recoil impulse is surprisingly friendly for a compact 9mm thanks to the geometry and spring tuning, allowing for quicker follow-up shots than you would expect from such a concealable package. It is optics first, so mounting a small red dot is straightforward, and it co-witnesses well with most aftermarket plates. If you need deep concealment for an appendix carry rig but do not want to give up workable sight radius, the Hellcat Pro is a practical modern answer that does not feel like a compromise at the range. At number 6, we have the Browning High Power. This is a pistol that never really leaves the spotlight. It just keeps getting more expensive while everyone argues about which generation is the real one. But here is the reality for 2026. Once FN cut off regular production of the classic design, the clock started ticking. Every original Belgian or Canadian high power instantly became a finite resource, and collectors are circling them harder than ever. What keeps the value rising is not just the name on the slide, it is the story baked into the steel. More than 50 militaries carried this weapon. Entire revolutions, counter-terror units, and police forces trusted this 13-round double stack when the rest of the world was still figuring out what capacity really meant. When you hold a high power, you are holding a global resume. Collectors are chasing the clean lines, the deep FN blue finish, and the sharp roll marks. They want the early tangent sight models, or the Canadian Inglis guns with their own unique character. The market has gotten smart though. Refinished guns and parts-swapped rebuilds are sitting still, while correct original examples are jogging past their old price ceilings. And strangely, the surge of modern clones has only helped. Once shooters compare a new clone to an FN-made classic, they realize how refined the originals feel, pushing the price of the real deal even higher. It is a historical artifact with a price curve that refuses to slow down. Number 7 is the Sig P320 X-Compact. This is my pick for the best overall blend of shootability, modularity, and everyday practicality available today. The P320 X-Compact gives you a compact package with a full-sized grip feel, but the core of its dominance lies in the chassis system. The serialized fire control unit allows you to change calibers, frame sizes, or slide lengths down the road without buying a whole new firearm. In use, it is perfectly balanced. The recoil impulse is friendly, and the trigger on the X-Series is crisp enough to make accurate follow-up shots feel natural. This modularity offers a distinct advantage in day-to-day life. You can tune your holster setup for the X-Compact's footprint, which carries flatter than many other compacts and prints less when you tuck your shirt. The platform rewards consistent hand placement. If you put a quality red dot on it, you unlock the platform for fast, confident hits. It is the ideal choice for the person who wants one reliable, adaptable pistol that can evolve with their needs, whether that is concealed carry, competition, or a home defense rig. It is a chameleon that adapts to your mission, not the other way around. Finally, at number 8, we have the Colt 1911A1. This pistol never has to beg for collector attention. It earns it on lineage alone. This is not just a handgun. It was America's field partner through 2 world wars, Korea, Vietnam, and decades of service beyond that. Every inspection stamp, every roll mark, and every contractor code is a breadcrumb in the story of the U.S. military. That story is exactly what keeps prices rising year after year. However, the appreciation curve is separating. Correct, original condition examples are leaving the rest of the pack behind. The market is educated now. Collectors want Colts, Ithacas, Remington Rands, and Union Switch and Signals. The whole war-era lineup. Fissy, but they want them with the right small parts, the original finish, and the right history attached. When those stars align, the bidding goes from polite to aggressive. Even mid-production examples with strong provenance are getting scooped up faster than they can hit the market. And here is the kicker. These pistols are not just historical. A tight, original Colt 1911A. One still shoots with a personality and mechanical charm that modern clones try to imitate, but never fully match. That blend of heritage and limited supply is why this platform keeps climbing, and why collectors treat every correct example like a piece of American currency in steel form. There you have it. 8 pistols that define the landscape of 2026. From the war-torn history of the high power and the 1911 to the cutting-edge modularity of the P320 and the Staccato. These are the tools that serious shooters are securing right now. Whether you are building a collection to preserve wealth or strapping on a tool to preserve life, do not wait for the market to price you out or the shelves to go empty. Do your research, verify your serial numbers, and train with purpose. If you are holding on to one of these legends, or if you are trusting your life to one of the modern workhorses, drop a comment below and let me know. Stay sharp.